Good afternoon, Code Simplifier tribes. Behzad is here with another simple video for beginner programmers. Today's video is going to be a very short one, and it is a complementary of our last video. In today's video, I explained to you how we can create a file, how to record a user when he attempt to enter their password, and how to record those attempts into the system into a file, which we can have a record of how many times the user entered the password wrong. So let's talk and get into it. The first one, we set up our minimum password length and maximum password length, and then here we named a file which that we are going to create when we are calling it, and the name of it is file reader. Then, as per usual, we had our password here, which the user is going to enter their password. Then we wrote down here whatever the password the user is going to enter, get the length of that one. That is the important part we need to have. Then here we opened our file. We're getting our current time. We imported our date and time class, which we converting our date and time to a string, and then I will show you how is that going to work. Then in this part, we had the check if the password length is whatever the user is going to enter through the console. If it's less than minimum password length, which obviously is 6 here, or is maximum, or is a greater than 1, is greater than 10. So once that condition is true, then we have to check another condition, which here we used if. In the if section, we called check if the password entered by the user is less than 6 or minimum password length. If that is the case, then here the reason the password is invalid is because the user entered the password which the length of that password is less than 6. If that is not the case, we check here. If the password length greater than maximum length, which is 10, then here's what is the reason the password length is greater than 10. And in the last or the next line, we just all of those information is going to be right inside the file which we created here, and we opened it here and we record everything's happening inside. The reason the password is invalid or the current date and time, which we got it from here. Then once we stored all of those information inside the file, then we have to let the user know what went wrong and why we asking the user to enter their password again, which that here the print line, it does it for us. Then we ask the user to enter the password again. So the whole of all of those functions inside this password between open and close is going to be recorded. And obviously here we just close the file once everything's happening. One question it may come to mind, it will be, why do we have to check the length of the password twice? So obviously in the while condition, the first line, the problem is we have to generally check if the password is going to be less or greater than 6 and 10. That in a general condition. So if it is between 6 and 10, that the condition is right. Sorry, the condition is 3. Then here we have to check again how many times the user is going to enter a password which is less than 6. And else if it goes how many times a user enters a password which is greater than 10. And basically that is what we have to check.